Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Meredith Mynrose. I'm a universal healer and a peace visionary. And I'm lost in thought because I think I sound so kiddish-like just now. But that's just my inner child. My inner child is like that because I love my inner child. So anyway, for Pisces, universal astrology message for 2019. For the month of May, we're going to shuffle this a little bit more. I hope all the Pisces in the house is awesome. So if you're not Pisces and you're cross-watching, if you are like different signs, you're just still welcome because everybody has a little bit of every sign, a mixture, a chemical an astrological chemistry in their chart that is like you all have a little bit of every sign. So how much you have, only you will know from your feelings if you resonate to it. For me, like in my sign Gemini, when I was growing up, I knew that I was a Gemini, but looking deeper into my chart at the end of my 20s, at the end of my 20s, I realized that I'm more of a Scorpio and people think that I'm a Scorpio. And I'm like, funny you mentioned that. That's what I realized too. And I'm like, I didn't know I was deep, and I didn't know I was mysterious. And a lot of people who knew me back when I was at a different place, they're like, you're mysterious. You're always in deep thought, because they see me in Starbucks looking so far into the sky. And then they're like looking at me drinking my coffee. I'm like thinking so far, and then I'm writing and writing. So that's me. So to you Pisces, I hope this reading resonates to you. So let's pull out your cards. If you haven't subscribed, please do let me know if you like my content, and let me know what other recommendations you think I could do. Thank you in advance. Okay. Alright. This is the first card. Seven of Pentacles. Oh, the Hierophant. The Hangman. And Ace of Wands. And ooh, Wheel of Fortune. 2, 3, 4, 5. And 6 is Page of Wands. Last one. Oh, Fragus. Sick. You don't like that card, but let's be neutral. Let's be neutral. I'm like posting the previous Aquarius one right now, but I just clicked the thingy and I'm done. Okay, guys. From what I see here, the world is kind of like your. You didn't get the world card, but it seemed like the world is the world is a map. The world is your map. Let's pull out the unicorn card before we continue with the intense. I feel this is intense because I wish there was this kind of like a shelf or a piece of something that I can stick this card on, like a sticky tape that I can stick the card on so that you guys can see all the cards at once, because obviously there's no camera on my table. Let's see if I have the I'm not gonna do that. Okay, let's just put this and this and this. Okay, today I'm just being a bit silly, but it's fine. I'm just having fun doing this. Okay guys, as you can see, we have Seven of Pentacles reverse, Hierophant, Hangman, Ace of Wands. Is Hangman reverse? Reverse. And the Wheel of Fortune, and then Page of Wands, and then Three of Heartbreaks. I'm gonna put it back down. And I'm gonna pull out the Unicorn card because I have no idea what is the storyline. Do you know this channel was named Andromeda Love Story previously? Before I changed it to Meredith Mynrose Universal Healer. Yep. I did. Seven of Pentacles. You know, at the first impression, I feel like your efforts were given to like royal monarchs, or you know, for religion, you have to sacrifice your abundance for religion. You have to give, like, you know, thieving. But then the thieving isn't from your choice. You were forced to thieve. You were forced to give. The Hanged Man. Religion. Seeing a different way you view religion. Maybe even a different way. I'm not sure if this continues to spirituality, but a different way of seeing traditional things. Okay, one thing that crossed my head right now, is, have you stopped believing in the sanctity of marriage? Religion and marriage, the world, the Wheel of Fortune reverse. Some of you got divorced or something. Did you guys get divorced or something? Let me see what last month's Pisces about. Pisces last month. It's lift off, do your dreams. It's kind of weird though if it's about your dream, but what is this about? Maybe the unicorns will say partnership, imagination, awareness. I think I'm seriously doubting this spread. Or myself, because maybe I'm just not in the mood. I'm not sure. But I don't think it's me or my mood or my doubt. I think it's a very, you know, when you're entering a secret cave in a forest and there's all these things blocking your view. I feel like reading this tarot reading for you Pisces is like that. Like there's a secret cave for your messages, and I am like, why are the spirit guide or the universe putting this obstacles and blocks. First thing that I pick up was your abundance being sacrificed for religion. Oh, hey! Oh. Now that I'm applying it to my experience, you put a lot, I don't know if you say waste or you say invest. You put a lot of investment or money into your beliefs, spirituality or religion, because you wanted to learn about the mysticism or the mystery of life, or the rules. I don't want to say it, but are you guys in a secret society? I said this in previous weird, I don't know which one, something about secret society, and now it's coming back out. I feel like you put some money in a society, whether it's based on a belief, like UFO. Maybe some of you are avid fans of extraterrestrials, and maybe spirituality, and maybe the unseen realm, maybe fairies. So some of you, okay, got it. Some of you have disappointed yourself in putting a lot of money, like Doreen Virtue. Maybe you've invested in her oracle cards, in her tarot decks, in her books, and in her courses, but then you realize that she then kind of like abandoned it and then ceases her belief about fairies and tarot, and she's been baptized. And I think, like, for me, right, I think Doreen Virtue's partner is a sociopath who was conditioning and grooming her to lose her faith in the universe magic energy so that he can control and possess her in a toxic patriarchy. So maybe this Hierophant is a toxic patriarchy that you see dominating your field of interest. Okay, we're taking a huge turn here. A toxic patriarchy that is dominating your field of interest. May it be politics? Because in my head is now, should I talk about what it was happening? Maybe may it be politics or science or education or economy or music career, or even Hollywood with toxic patriarchy ruling the scenes. Even if the woman is a woman in front and center, she may even have toxic patriarchy in her blood and in her energy of ruling. I see that. Oh, now I get your message. Okay, now I get your message. You want to do your dream, but there is too much toxic masculinity in your field. There's too much competition where it shouldn't be. And when you're just trying to shine, people try and take your ideas and flood off with it. And it's hard for you to do what you love when people keep stealing your ideas, or when people keep competing with you when they don't have any ideas, so they take yours. And then they're very greedy and controlling and obsessive, and then they try to slander you or attack you. And you're looking at the industry that you're interested in from the hangman's point of view, but in reverse. So you had the insider info of what is wrong with the industry, whether it's music, whether it's spirituality, whether it's religion, church, whether it's politics, whether it's science, I just remembered some psychopath woman who was in that, what is it, the Science Valley something. She conned so many billions of dollars because of her body language as a man, and then she had a very low tone voice, and that was this kind of like blood research or something, and she conned people billion dollars just by a hoax, a fraud. Her company cannot do anything with blood research. She's a dropout, and she dressed like who's that guy who did the Apple guy thingy? Sorry, I'm not into those. Like, I know if Steve Jobs. Okay, sorry. I was gonna say Steve Wozniak, but I don't know who that guy is. But he sounded similar. But you had the insider info of what's wrong. You have the insider info of what's wrong with the industry that you're into. I got it now. I got your message. Don't worry. So, the first card for unicorn, you got partnership. I feel like you're going to work with somebody who are on the same awareness as you. This is actually the third card. To imagine, you're working with somebody to imagine a new reality. Give yourself permission to dream and believe in unlimited possibilities. So, even though previous month's video it says it's lift off, do your dreams, and you might feel like, are you sure like my work will be recognized, my passion, my efforts will be appreciated and not broken apart, and people running away with my ideas rather than supporting my ideas, they're gonna fucking run off with it. Yeah, it happened to me. Multiple times. Too much time to count. And people who don't have a personality, people who don't have a dream, they will try and break apart other people's dream and then try to like fake it to make it. So toxic patriarchy and the hangman, you have the insider info of what's wrong in your industry, and you have the power to kind of like carry a baton. You have the power to make the change. You have the power to direct power, direct a spotlight, direct fire, direct energy towards what needed to be changed. So you have that power to change the wheel of fortune. You have the power to, when people are like, when the stick, you use a stick to push, or, some people use a hand, but I don't know. It's like, you use this. The most important thing here is that your awareness is power, and when you're aware of something's off, something's ridiculous, something's not right, something's not balanced, something's extremely wrong, you have the power to shift how the world runs. So you are shifting the way the world runs. This is a very extremely powerful duty. I'm not sure how many of you are in the position of a whistleblower, but perhaps some of you are. And some of you are doing it from a very broken heart, from a very thrilling, like wailing and willing and pressure and negative version of thrilling. So let's see if the word trailing exists. THR. Nope, it does not exist. So I made up a word that is not in the dictionary. So it's like you have that power to change the world from a very extreme point of pressure. Like just imagine if there is an ongoing sexual abuse on children in America, or prevalent in all the countries around the world. There is that ongoing sex abuse that traumatizes children around the world. Darn it, I'm using my own passion here. It's okay, I'm not sure how I'm going about with it. Alright, secret society. Alright. So whistleblowing cults, whistleblowing religious groups that are suspicious, that have an off feeling about it, and it's getting grim and it's getting on a darker note. But you have the power to expose the unfairness of certain industry, maybe double standards, maybe the toxic patriarchy gets away with so many misconduct, immoral misconduct, or inhumane way of doing things. And okay, let's pull out another deck. Maybe the dragons will tell us something more about this. So lift off, do your dream from last month, and right now I can see how you have it's not a heavy heart that doesn't make you go forward. It's actually you accepted how you feel about the suffering of others or the suffering of that condition, and it breaks your heart, or you feel betrayed, or because applying it to many situations is hard with just one sentence, 5 sentences, one paragraph, so you guys have to use your imagination as well to apply this guided message to you guys. Because I feel like maybe there's 3 areas where this would touch people's personal lives. Like you invested a lot in the beginning. I said you invested a lot of money on your beliefs, and then it no longer seems like it's the right path. You wanted to see what is wrong. You wanted to learn, but then you see there's a lot of wrong things in that industry. But with your awareness, you have the power to change the course, the way the world is run. Because the power is you traveling and spreading the message or awareness. Become a messenger. Traveling and spreading that message. Or, reaching people and telling people certain things that needs awareness. Maybe some of you are an advocate for narcissistic abuse, and you are traveling to advocate on the situation, the prevalent repercussion of having unattended or undisciplined or uninformed society of the idea of sociopath. You have the light, fire, dragon, transmute through the power of divine love, and I think you're going to apply this. Transmuting through the power of divine love when you spread your message. Open up to transcendent love and enlightenment. Purity of heart brings peace, hope, and joy. I feel like your dream, whichever way you're spreading your dream, maybe through music, in your industry, maybe you're a healer, maybe you're an author, a writer, maybe you are a politician, maybe you are a lawyer, maybe you are a journalist, whichever area that you participate in life, your ability to your ability to act with truth and honesty will come from your wisdom. Your ability to transform, your ability to act with truth and honesty will help you to something, your wisdom. I was running out of words and then this came out for me. Last card is illuminate your potential with higher light. So some of you are whistleblowers. Some of you have a big dream of doing something beautiful. At the same time, in order to achieve that beautiful thing, you have to whistle fucking blow. So some of you have to challenge the status quo in your industry. Whether it's in green energy, whether it is in export import, whether it is in social media, whichever industry, because this is industry wise. This is either industry or politics or NGOs or religion or spiritual thing or cults. You're exposing a biased power in that area, because that biased power is being held by a psychopath or a sociopath. And because they are psychopath and sociopath, the entire social collective in that industry, whether it's music, whether it's fashion, whether it's Hollywood, whether it's politics, whether it's education, whether it's in energy, whether it is oil and gas, whether it is child care, whether whichever industry it is, whether it's like food and things like that, or whether it's like education in physics or development, like Pisces energy, it seems that exposure, and I can maybe say something here now. Like, I feel like over the past many years, decades, I don't know how many years it comes into a Pisces year, because we're in the Aquarius year, right? In the millennium of Aquarius or something. I feel that exposing corrupt activities is an ongoing feat, an ongoing challenge for humanity, because as they recognize corruption, they would recognize unfairness, and then when they recognize corruption and unfairness, they would recognize a best ideal way to achieve harmony, prosperity, and peace. So for you guys, Pisces, it seems like you have the power to change the course of the world by speaking up. You have the power to change the course of the world by speaking up, even with your wounded heart, something you really care about, something you're really passionate about, something you want to raise awareness about, maybe about animal abuse, maybe about cats, dogs, maybe about children's, maybe about like racism, maybe about like sexual discrimination, maybe about feminine oppression, maybe about LGBTQ, maybe about um, um, I don't know what else to say, but you can come up with all the reasons that you're passionate about balancing the scale of power on certain areas that you're passionate about. And for Pisces, you have the power to look at those areas of things you are so passionate about with a new eye, and you have that ability with your awareness to change the course of the world by bringing awareness to it and lighting a change. Light a change. You know, if there's a fire, if there's a stick and you light it on fire, it becomes like a, what do you call it? You tell me in the comments. A torch? A flaming torch? Flaming torch. So you have that flaming torch, lit it on fire, because you can be with your eye, with your awareness on the conditions, like, you know, labor law, like, you know, minimum wage, humanity things, or, you know, the condition, the suffering of people who gets abused, maybe for the homelessness, maybe like the Ministry of Housing or Development have to kind of like stop letting corrupt companies overcharge on rent, overcharge on selling properties. Not a lot of people can make 100 million. Not a lot of people can make like 3 millions or 500,000. Not a lot of people can afford $500,000 homes. Not a lot of people can afford $100,000 homes, and then they are living in the city, so there must be some kind of like a fair scale. So illuminate your potential with higher light. So I feel like maybe this dragon holding this key is you holding the wand, and you taking action with your passion and ideas to fill your heart to fill your heart. Ooh. So that you can make the world the way you want to live in. You make the world your world that you want to live in. So this is the card underneath it. I've never been particular with showing cards under the deck, but ever since I seen like other readers do it, I'm like, I forgot about that from so long ago. And now I'm like, let's see what's under there. If it makes sense, let's show it. So you do have the World card, which I'm going to pull out now. You do have the World card. This is number 8. So as you passionately share your speech or awareness about what you love and care deeply, you're going to be able to reimagine a new world. Reimagine a new world. Reimagining a new world. We're going to pull out 2 more decks. Cards from 2 more decks. So hopefully that is a very interesting turn of events with the reading. I definitely sense how some of the readings that I share is carried on from previous month. So there's been consistency in there. Even when I forget what it's about, and then halfway I remember it, I'm like, hey, that makes sense with last month's reading. Okay. So, one more thing. If there's something that you want to do but other people are competing with you, and then it stops you from doing it, don't mind them. stand up for your rights and do it. Like how they try to make you feel undeserving for your dreams that you build with your pure intention, and they're trying to imitate and fake and pretend to be you when they don't have any interest or heart. They just want the fucking popularity or fame. Screw them. Just do you. People will try to take your reputation, try to take your ideas, to take your reputation, and to be seen like you when they never earned it. Screw them. Screw them. Do what you love and like be gone with them. Be gone with all the competition that is not pure competition. They're not competition. There's no such thing as competition. You just mind your freaking business and do your own dreams. And those who are competing with each other, they're like, they don't know who they are, and they need to tease or trick people to believe that they're a worthy competitor when you're not. Okay. Oof, boundaries. So you have the card boundaries, and then patience. So you do definitely need patience in order to journey from spreading the awareness, taking action, to share the idea. Like for me, like my passion is like healing the inner child. If you had toxic childhood, like healing the inner child would definitely give you a chance to build a happy life where you can then spread more goodness and light into the world. So for me, like, it's been a very long journey of trying to do the thing. And successfully, 30 years, I did not give up. Protecting the children is my passion. Self-reflection. Woo! Woo. So I feel this is so important. Do you know, yesterday is my birthday and I decided to do nothing but self-reflect. And we get this card, self-reflection. I feel like if in Pisces energy, I'm not sure what you call this, but emotionally, I'm a Pisces. How people perceive me, more like my behavior and character is a Scorpio. The way I think is a Gemini. I'm a sun sign Gemini. So I'm having this feeling where every area of your house where your signs are, they match a different, like your relationships. How is your style of relationship? And maybe that's impacted by Venus or something. Okay, so let me just... So let me continue this self-reflection. And I want to burp. Excuse me. I'm going to put some Aura Shield oil. This is the Aura Shield oil. I think I have the recipe for it. Obviously, I jotted it down somewhere. I definitely do, because I've made 2 lots of it. This is the Aura Shield. When I made it, it's green in color. The oil become green. It's good. Okay. Okay, I feel better. Okay, so reflection, self-reflection. So, boundaries. So we shared the Aura Shield just now for boundaries. I feel like when you have boundaries, patience, and self-reflection. Boundaries, patience, and self-reflection. So I'm just going to put these 2 together. when you reflect on your boundaries, you won't feel like this, because you won't feel like this, the heart betrayed, because you will take action to keep up the boundaries. So just imagine everyone has a divine purpose, and maybe your divine purpose is to speak about something you're really passionate about, that really makes you feel the deepest and the most, and makes you feel so much that you're willing to take an action, that you're willing to speak up about it, that you're willing to spread awareness about it. And that's how you're going to change the world, by changing your world. You don't have to go and change other people's world. By changing your world, by living by your truth, by living with honesty, by even if other people don't agree with you, until they realize that your truth is a universal truth, your truth is a fairness, a human-based compass, a compassionate seeking of compassion for the rest of humanity. Like, because slavery is no longer allowed in this world, right? Everybody's meant to be paid for their work or conviction, or just commitment. And with boundaries and self-reflection, you won't feel like that. You will feel like this. As you build your boundaries and you reflect on how you feel, because this is water. When you are in control of your emotions, when you're in control of your emotions, you can take charge of what actions you need to take, so that you can build what you want to build for your world. And I'm not saying save the world. I'm just saying illuminate your world, your personal world. Don't care about, maybe this is an advice for me too, don't care about globe-trotting and like spreading this wisdom like Nazi style. Like conquer and program. Conquer society and program society with a new belief. No. Because I guess Hitler wanted to conquer humanity and program them to hate Jew, right? Correct? So you don't have to be that controlling and that trailblazing, or unless it's in your divine path to do something like that in a kinder way, loving way, without killing anybody, without pulling a genocide. Of course, it's on your own journey. But if you are just focus on illuminating your world with your beliefs and your truth, living by your truth, living with this, accepting the scars of your life on your face or on your arms or shoulder, chest, and accepting your past shouldn't shame your future. Your pain shouldn't stop you from receiving love. Your trauma shouldn't judge you from feeling more worthy than what was forced happened to you. What people do to you is a representation of their own insecurity. There will be the wheel of fortune turning around, and you will have, there will always be an ending to suffering, to injustice. There will always be an ending to tyrants. And sometimes you have the power to speak up about the tyrant in your life, whether it's your boss, your narcissistic mother, your psychopathic father, your, I don't know, it's on you if how you judge your personally your parents, right? Or your kind of like manipulative friend or toxic sister, your siblings. So speaking up to the injustice. You illuminate. You live by your truth. And you're not asking for a fight, and you're just letting the truth exist. Let the truth exist. And the corrupt, the biased treatment eventually loses power, because you no longer become a basket of fear and control. You became a basket of acceptance of truth. And when you no longer fear those individuals who always provoke fear or insecurity in you, and you see them, because this is the hangman, you see them, you see the corrupt, you see the injustice, you see the tyrants, and when you accept these individuals are corrupt, tyrant, unjust, horrible, and you don't fight them, and you realize that becoming aware, illuminating yourself with the truth is the first step. And on your own terms, how you go about with changing the world is by no longer being affected by the tyrant or the corrupt, but building your own world, stepping into the leadership. Can I say leadership role? Let's see if you have any leadership roles. I feel like you're stepping into the leadership role to replace the tyrant and become a powerful voice of change and leading the group, leading the change makers, leading those who are so passionate with you to change the world to become better. And this is just in your suburb or city or in your country. It doesn't have to be international, but if it does, you know, hashtag Me Too is a international thing. Somebody got showing it. I have a story, but it's too juicy and it's too dumb for that person involved. Anyway. I can't. I'm just laughing at this. So let me just pull out 3 more cards for the last thing. You know, when people abuse, people slander. You know, when a group of sociopaths slanders an innocent person using a social justice to call upon attention to slandering that person. You know, it's a witch hunt. People who witch hunt you when you're done nothing wrong, the wheel is going to turn on them because they're going to go down. So maybe some of you guys who had whistleblowed before and people don't trust you, people don't take action to help you, and you kind of like lost faith in them, you know, just forget about them and just carry on with your truth, carry on with your ideals in life, so you can illuminate the truth in your life, accepting your wounds, your trauma, your scar, and reflecting, and then building the boundaries, and then knowing that as you take action to build your life and kind of like expose by accepting. There's no need to fight. Just accepting who they are is a subconscious reality in your mind that will spark so much megaton, thousands of kilowatt light, spotlight, that your faith will bloom and blossom. And those individuals who keeps on projecting their toxicity and negativity and like slandering you with their own guilt and mistakes, once you accept and become aware, so this is a very divine spiritual healing here. Once you accept and become aware of the tyrant, of the abuser, without even fighting it, by accepting the truth about it and illuminating it within your inner mind, inner world, the fear ceases, and their effect on taunting you, guilting you, manipulating you, distorting you, and having the power to control how you feel, gone. Because you accepted the darkness about them is their responsibility. The darkness about their action is their own guilty conscience. And you move on so free because you accept and you illuminate the truth by carrying that vessel of wisdom in your soul. And as you become present in your surrounding, your awareness will light and spark change in people's awareness without even realizing it. And it's like a spiral of change just by you living your truth. Just by you feeling good and safe and protected in your divine body, soul, light awareness. And that's how you build, and that's how you change the course of the world, change the way the world runs, by illuminating yourself with the truth and holding that truth in a silent compartment in your mind, in your subconscious mind, sometimes becoming aware of it and knowing tyrant, bully, unjust. And you don't fight them. You just accept that that is who they are. And karma goes a big round circle. And people who once knew you will realize that that's not an honest person. They will motor reflex, like, when somebody yawns, if you yawn, comment. If I yawn and you yawn, we have motor reflex. And subconsciously, my body language will influence your body language. And that's why only watch people you like, don't watch people you don't like, because you probably pick up on your body language and then you unconsciously get influenced by them. So you unconsciously will influence people around you. And alright. Oh, you're blessed. You're blessed. And clean it up. What? Clean it up. And building blocks. I think I sliced it. Did I not slice it? I'm just going to use this last card to slice it. I never pull out the last card, right? Co-create. So this is still partnership. So thinker. And to be fair. Okay, I got the message for you guys now. Oh, this is an intense reading for you guys, because it's like cosmic complex reading. Self-reflection, boundaries, and patience. Putting all the tarot cards together now. I'm putting the dragon cards together now. Okay, so you have co-create, partnership. You're going to work with somebody to make your dreams come true. Because you're passionate about something, but you cannot build your passion when there's a tyrant, right? You cannot share your goodness or your blessings with the world when there's a tyrant taking credit, and then not giving that feeling to the mass. You want to heal the world, you want to share your music with the world, but somebody is hogging it all to themselves. You want to share your abundance to the world, someone is hogging it to themselves. So the rich is exploiting your gifts. Or, you work for this tyrant pretending to be pious. And you see the truth about them. You see both sides. And to be fair, like when you accepted other people's darkness, and there's many ways where you can expose or whistleblow or make the world change. One of it is like, understand that to be fair, there's always two sides of things, and there's always opinions. Other people may say what they think, and you say what you think. You can say what you think, and it doesn't mean what you think is lesser than what they think. To be fair, you have every right to judge your life experience. And to be fair, they have every right to judge their life experience. But it doesn't discount yours. Freaking hell, deja freaking vu. Right this moment, right now with this video. What did I say? You have every right to judge your life experience, and they have every right to judge from their life experience, but it doesn't make your experience lesser than them. It doesn't make your opinions or your judgment lesser than that. So you have the power to keep your judgment and to keep your opinions about them, and don't let them change your thoughts about them. So because some tyrants, they are so toxic projection. So I'm going to put the toxic projection again. This is the toxic projection. Some tyrants, they are so toxic that they project to you that you cannot think. They are very controlling in how other people think about them. So that's why the industry cannot thrive, because the individuals are hogging all. Seriously, I'm having an extreme deja vu today. No, right now. Not today, but right now I'm having an extreme deja vu. So to be fair, greedy people, obnoxious people will not let you have your personal opinions, personal judgment, or personal power and personal creativity, because they're greedy, they're hoggers, and they are unfair, and they're unjust, and they're toxic, and they are the worst symbolism of humanity that needs reparation. So to any of you who are dealing in any areas of your personal industry, in your craft or passion or career, where you see injustice, illuminate yourself about that person and build your boundaries, and sooner or later your deep silent awareness will trigger changes, because I've seen it happen to myself. I don't know when or how, because it happened simultaneously in many areas of my life. When I realized the truth about somebody, eventually, when I accept who they are and what they've done, and when I accept they can't change or they're not willing to, even if you give them forgiveness, even if they hurt you again and again and again, eventually your awareness sparks subconscious cycle in humanity, or that grid of energy, and it's like when you illuminate your mind, the truth is planted as a seed, and the seed will bloom as a collective conscious harvest. So wisdom, collective wisdom, can come out from a hermit per se, or a collective wisdom can come out from a person who is deeply wise, a thinker. So some of you illuminate the world by living your truth, leading life the way you can, and even without realizing it, you're changing the world. This is like for healers and energy workers like me, because some things that we are speaking about is very taboo. Some things, but as we keep holding the truth, the light, the flame, we lit that torch. We lit that wand into, what's the dragon? Into illumination or enlightenment. Illuminates your potential with higher light, access untapped resources. Look into your soul. Look into your soul. That even matches with self-reflection. As you learn to look into your soul, reflect, you're going to learn boundaries. You're going to have these boundaries, and this boundaries is awareness, is an awareness, because it will help you to imagine a different world, imagine a different world where you get to change the way the world works, and there's no more tyrant. Go away. They no longer have power because the social circle or the collective consciousness recognize the tyrant, recognize the abuse, and recognize the unjust. So to be fair, even if they are so controlling, even if this situation only relates to one individual in your life as an abuser, to be fair, what they think about you, how they deny and gaslight and reject your truth, is a reflection of their fear, not yours. So when you illuminate your awareness of who they are, and you no longer feel provoked or triggered by their behavior, you accepted that their fear no longer triggers a fear that does not resonate to you, because you're not afraid of what they're afraid of, and you're not upset with what they're upset of, and your moral values and your virtue and your integrity, your life principle does not get influenced by their lack of principles, life values, integrity, and that sort of stuff. Your values, your virtue, your life principles, your integrity, and your beliefs and your faith. And then you realize that what they fear, and they try to influence you to fear the same thing so they can overcome their fear by throwing their fear to you. It's called a toxic projection. And you realize that your toxic projection, so like, a lot of tyrants project fear onto people so that those people bow down to them and idolize them and praise them. I'm laughing at another thing that happened. I don't want to talk politics, but there's recently this thing where I don't do my like talking about sociopath anymore, but so I'm just going to take this advantage to talk a little bit about sociopath. When something happened recently, okay, this is going to be a little bit longer. I have to stop laughing so I can tell you the story. Okay, so something is on YouTube where Donald Trump was exposed to have temper tantrum when dealing with I don't know her name, but she's awesome. And then he put all of his minions beside him, and then he said, "You were there." Like he asked his minions, was I temperamental and things like that? And then they say, no, you were calm, you were serious, you were patient, things like that. And he asked like 5 different people. And this reminds me, when I was in boarding school, when I was 10 years old, I was in a religious boarding school. The principal of that school, the religious boarding school, woke all of us up around between 3 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. I think, like that. And then they forced us to go to the office, and then she confronted this teenager, because I'm like 10 years old. There was this teenager that kind of like gossip about her and kind of like make fun of her, and then she was scolding her, and I was like, so Daisy, like, and then I told my mom, and then we got out of that religious boarding school. She put me there, the thing is that toxic projection always backfire. Toxic projection always backfire, because when you project toxicity to other people, unconsciously, the extreme masculinity haunts that person back. So the fear that the individuals face, like, you know, when somebody's angry and upset, and you're like, what? And you don't get why they're angry and upset, because they have fear. And they confuse you, and then they distort your emotion, and that's how a lot of you may have felt. Like, you're confused and you don't know how to feel anymore, or how to see life anymore, because there has been a tyrant that abused you in your life, that causes you to feel like they shatter your dreams. And obviously I speak from experience, because it has happened to me. And what happened for me is that I needed to go through my healing. I needed to do a lot of self-reflection, and all the things I mentioned here, to build boundaries, to have an awareness, to illuminate the truth, to carry my torch of emblazoned fiery light, and like change the world by changing how I see the world, and how I view the world, and how I imagine the world to be, and then putting efforts to build how I imagine my world to be. And from that effect, my action, although slow like a snail, and I take actions really slowly, it does make a big change. Small changes makes big changes. So for maybe 5-6 years, I was going up and down with life, but you know, trusting myself and believing in myself and working on myself helps me to keep my heart where it needs to be. But right now, you can heal your heart, like, you know, you have this healing your heart is through taking actions to dream better. So Pisces, I want you to dream better and think a better resolution, and how the tyrants provoke you with fear, intimidation. They don't have the power. They need your reaction to feel powerful. When you don't react, they don't feel powerful. So they needed you, with or without, to make them feel like they exist. But you don't need them to exist, do you? You can carry on, influence the small people, and the small people will lead to the big people, and eventually there will be a radical change where your truth will shine, and you will have the power to change the way the world runs. I love when I say to you guys, you have the power to change the way the world runs. And so that is your reading for May 2019 for Pisces. One more thing. So talk about a little bit about toxic projection. Toxic projection will always backfire on the person, because they only reveal what they're insecure of in their own life, and it may have nothing to do with you at all. And when you're a little bit kind of like off, confused, because you may have been traumatized in the past, because that's what happened to myself as well. I'm mentioning this because it's important to some of you who need the answers. Once you keep on healing and building boundaries and having a more an ironclad awareness, like if an awareness can be meteorite or ironclad or like stainless steel and nothing can penetrate your illuminated awareness, whatever they say, whatever new tyrants that cross your path, new tyrants or new abusers, whatever they say will not affect your mind, will not affect your heart, will not affect your beliefs or your values. And you can just accept their fear is a projection of their toxic projection, is a perception they carry about themselves and not about you. I like what I say just now. The toxic projection is a reflection of themselves and not about you. Whichever I say just now, the nicer one, that's the one. So thank you for being here, everybody. If you actually want a personal reading with me, you can book a reading. Go to my website. If you want a personal session, a universal healing session, there is an offer right now up to the 31st. I think there's one more week about it. 31st of May. It's $160. And I accept donations if you want to tip me. And I hope this reading helps you. I hope this reading guides you and helps you see in areas where you may need more oomph, more strength, more conviction, more faith. And knowing that where you are right now, even if you're not doing much, you are doing a lot. Just existing is already doing a lot, because we may not necessarily do things in physical plane, but the subconscious plane, we're busy bees and we're always interacting with the collective consciousness and picking up wisdom and then putting that wisdom in your own packet of honey, and then the wisdom is honey for you, and then you have a sweeter life when you become more wise. And thank you to the dragons. Transmute with divine love and transform your knowledge into pure wisdom. I want to continue, but I think that's about it. We can go on and on and on if we don't have a time limit. But you can always work with me personally, and then we can work out what you need to learn in your life. So that's it. Build a new world from a healed heart, because you have the power to change the course of the world, at least your own, and then it will ripple out. So thank you, everybody. My love to you. Positive vibes, good vibes, and positive energy. And take care. I'll see you for next month. For now, bye.